Okay, Libra, I am so very sorry. I had some technical difficulties. It is Mercury retrograde, so apparently everything is awry with my computer right now. Um, okay, so the first part, I actually did pull the cards, and you do see the shuffling. And the second part, I'm kind of halfway through, unfortunately, so I don't want to have to go through all of it again, but I will finish up what I was doing in pulling the clarifiers. I only have two more cards to go here with this final card. And then I'm going to pull all the cards forward and read everything as a whole. This is Career Money Finance, July 1st through to the 15th. And again, that's Career Money Finance, July 1st through to the 15th. And please like and subscribe. And I'm sorry about the the issue with my computer at this time. I have to do something that's a little more long term for me to be able to correct it. So just so I can get the video out to you, I'm going to have to muddle through and pass on any fine finesse and final touches here. So just have to take it as a crude video and go forward. But anyway, again, 2 weeks of July, Career Money Finance, and this is pretty much all the way through here in terms of pulling all the cards. I ended up with the first video pulling all the cards and again giving you the shuffling, and I pulled up all of the cards so you could see what they were. This is the Knight of Cups, and it is clarified by the Four of Cups. So there's something here that's coming through as a bit of a disappointment. We also have some energy around a hard win, something that was challenging for sure. There's a message of some sort that's coming through that there is abundance on the way here, and certainly you are coming through in your reading several times. So I feel that you were really confident this month. That in the first 2 weeks, I'm not really sure, but if it's just that your energy is feeling that much more solid and and inspired, or if you're actually, but we'll pull, as I say, when I pull everything together, it'll make more sense. So I only have the last two cards to go through, and then I'm going to read everything as a whole as the full message. So the last two cards, again, we've got the Two of Swords and the Hanged Man energy. So I'm going to just review what the Two of Swords is here. Okay. All right, so okay, so there is something that's coming through, I suspect, here about money and some kind of a contractual document. Again, you're pulling through here with your own energy. Could be a lawyer contract, something around that. Ten of Swords, you are definitely done some kind of a cycle. Death card, done some kind of cycle. Full circle. Could be revolving around, again, Cancer, Aquarius, Pisces, some kind of a water sign. But again, could be just that you need to keep calm throughout this whole scenario here in this 2 weeks. But there is definitely a message of some sort that's coming through here pretty quickly that you have a reason to be optimistic and just to stay hopeful. And it was probably just after some kind of a tower moment. So again, once I pull everything together, it'll make much more sense. But right now it's just kind of piecemeal cards. But we also have the Hanged Man. So, and with that Two of Swords, it just feels like there was some kind of a stalemate or some kind of a delay for sure. Okay, again, it looks like a delay, another delay of some sort. Lots of cards of delay and end of cycles. Okay. So this will look like, to me, this looks like it's the last of it. It's kind of the end of all of this conflict. Definitely coming to some kind of an end cycle here with the World card. Definitely slow moving money, I suspect, is what it is, because it's career money finance. So it does look like there's a delay because you have a message just to endure. Definitely a conflict that was around it. Definitely some kind of decision that may yet still be having to be made here, but it's over. That's done. Once this is kind of the last of it. Okay, so I'm going to pause the cards, or pause the video, and just get right into the message in short. And again, this is the last section of part 1 of 2. So if you want to watch the first section of all the cards being pulled, please feel free to do so. But this section will be just on career money finance, July 1st through to the 15th. And if you like the message, or certainly like the video, and would like to get more of the information coming through, updates and so on, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you don't hit the notification bell, it doesn't come up in your feed. You'd have to go into the subscribers section to be able to see any of the new videos that I do upload. So I'll pause the video and then go through the full message. Thank you. Okay, Libra, I won't begin to tell you all of the technical issues I have had right now, and amongst other things, it definitely is Mercury retrograde. I've had so many issues right now. Even when I uploaded, I couldn't even see the last video. So anyway, this is the final aspects of the reading anyways. It's the final read itself. The first video was really me just pulling the cards, giving a really quick synopsis, but this is more the actual reading. So anyway, with clarifiers. So first off is the Two of Pentacles. We've got Libra and water signs and the devil, of course. So what I'm feeling here is that I think I pulled too many cards, so I'm just going to kind of speed through this as quickly as possible here, and just try to get through the majority within reasonable time. Anyway, Queen of Swords out twice, but your energy is all over this reading. So I feel that you're really empowered, or somehow there's either an extreme amount of confidence, or you're needing to have a lot of confidence to be able to get through this period of July, especially in this first couple of weeks. Feels like there's a lot of confrontation, or that you've been dealing with a lot of confrontation or conflict. Could be in around the water sign here as well, Capricorn, or maybe even another Libra energy. But definitely Libra in itself, I mean, represents a strong supportive person, but there's also great potential here that's coming in for you this month. So I mean, you're empowered. There's a strong independent energy about you, and I feel that you're really on top of juggling your responsibilities quite well here. You're very adept at staying calm, or at least you're expected to be here with this. And again, this could be representing a water sign here for you as well, but I do feel that you are handling yourself fairly well despite the challenges that I see here. I feel that you're really finding your higher purpose, and you're aware of where you're headed here. That you need to be strong. You really need to get clear on what matters for this month. Definitely, I feel your ideas will really impress upon others, because you've got a need to be so clear-minded and focused here. But there is a strong degree of success if you can carry it through, if you can get past this hurdle of the month of July. But with the King of Swords, it's also showing up here further out. I'll just bring that forward here. You definitely have some success. You have a couple of victories that are coming through here as well, but definitely I just feel that you're really battle weary in dealing with some issue. You're really a little on the feeling like you want to give up, or you're worn down sort of phase here. But I feel your ideas, as I say, are really coming through here. There's so many swords in this reading, but there's also just as many, wands and battles kind of, mixed in here. So anyway, Two of Pentacles, and the King of Swords showing up further out, really requires you to really invest of yourself at this time, because the long-term payoff will be to your advantage if you stay focused. And I feel with all the swords energy, as I said, there's a call for you to stay laser focused. Don't lose sight of the big picture, especially with all the conflicts and the battles and the challenges I see in here. But for others, you may not have quite reached that point where you are clear enough to move forward. And this is really going to take a fair amount of energy out of you to, take a little more time in deciphering your options, with all of the angles and the um, moves that you'll need to line up, to make sure that the right opportunity appears. So again, you could be dealing with another Libra, certainly a water sign figures prominently here. Could be Sagittarius. There's Leo energy in here also. But again, juggling a lot of activities around a partnership. That obviously figures prominently in here as well, and it's casting some kind of shadow over the financial aspect in this 2-week period. So um, there is other energy around a Two of Swords, Two of Wands. You're really struggling to find balance here and make some kind of a decision. I suspect that there is maybe a decision between two people, or that you're considering a partnership. Um, but it looks like there is, or you're deciding between, two different paths, because the Chariot shows up here as well. But it looks like there's some kind of option that's fairly strong, that's going to affect your stability in some way. So we also have the King of Swords. Could be a legal issue of some sort, or contracts, or something around legal advice, or something that you might be seeking. But there's also that Devil energy with the King of Swords, Queen of Swords. So to me, it could be a karmic connection of some sort. It doesn't have to be with a relationship. It could be a partnership in business, where there was some karmic connection and lessons that needed to be learned and that kind of thing. But either way, there's just something that I can't quite put my finger around, but it's around teaming up or deciding to partner with another in business, or there's some kind of sharing of finances, or getting help in some way, however that speaks to you. But there is going to be there's a couple of achievements, as I said, with the King of Wands coming through a couple of times here. But I definitely feel that you are going to achieve some sense of control with the Emperor, or happiness with whatever this challenge is, that you're bringing about some kind of change here in this 2-week period. There's some kind of change and challenge that you're having to face. But I do feel that you are coming through as the Queen of Wands, and I do feel that you're kind of that fiery energy where you do want to take on the challenge. You're worn down, but I feel that you're just getting out there. This is again Leo, Aries, Sagittarius coming in, but there's also an entrepreneurial quality around that. So you could be moving, you know, some kind of venture to a new level as well. But there's a bold, courageous motion toward that desired position. So, you're having to combat some things here, but you are definitely being called to a higher calling, and it is going to bring about a level of happiness here for you. And there's more control with the Emperor as well involved. So we've also got the Temperance Judgment card again. Good news coming in. Definitely, battles, but for your independence. So again, this is coming from that very self-assured energy, with all of the cards of Libra coming through here. Or at least you're feeling fierce, you're feeling more bold, like you have to challenge something, or maybe you're mustering up this energy to be able to go forward. But again, it's coming from a place of authority. There's more control of the direction that you're headed after shifting some things with that Five of Wands and going through the competition. And, also again with the Five of Swords, hard battle won here, but again, you're heading into a place where you are going to regain your stability, and for sure you're dominating, you're gaining control. Some of you could be dealing with a person who is more dominating or authoritative or manipulative, especially with the Devil energy there too. However this presents to you, but it's some kind of protective energy that's coming in with the Temperance card here also. So that kind of speaks to me that there's a reason for there to be protection, because I feel that you are, burning out maybe a little bit here. Or there's a lot of passion or rage or something, and confusion. A lot of cards to confusion as well. So it just feels like a really bit of more of an uncertain time in a lot of respects for you. But again, dealing with authoritative, dominating kind of people this month. Definitely some kind of protective quality around you. There is a need for a degree of practicality and logic that I feel is going to be required to go the distance toward your Ten of Cups here in the previous. But there's definitely, as I say, there's feelings of, because we also have some cards of creativity, a lot of threes in here too, and expansion, that kind of thing. But there is a lot of cards of this being all around your happiness front, your stability front, a lot of a need to get clear, a lot of experts or people that need to be involved in making, some of these decisions, I feel as well. And it feels like it's on, again, two different fronts, because we've got some repeat cards. So it feels like you're going to need one aspect to maybe level up part of your own projects with the Three of Pentacles, but it also feels like another decision needs to be involving quite a few other people that sort of outside of your control, that might be revolving around, a long-term project or money of some sort here. But definitely dealing with larger numbers of money here. And certainly there is 8, 9, 10 of Pentacles. So we are talking about progression. Something is still progressing, but there is holds on parts of this. So again, you could be dealing with also a more mature person involved here with that Emperor energy. But again, strong energy around being your own boss here, doing what it takes to get something done. There's a sense of originality in the way that you're doing something, or that you're doing it first, but there's a lot of potential, and certainly someone who thrives on challenges here. Um, because of all these wands, nobody's backing down, or you're not backing down. Again, for those dealing with a strong masculine type here with that devil energy and the tower that unfortunately comes up later on, something is having to fall away here, enable for you to make the shift. So there's definitely combative energy. As I said, it leaves some real insult and even some harsh words that are creating some kind of ego blows here. So there's definitely some kind of dispute that's going on here, or a lot of aggression and tension that is making you feel destabilized. And it does feel like it's around the home front, especially because everything's around the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, that kind of thing. So there's a real strong need of you're feeling restricted, and there's a real strong need for you to get clear, stand up for yourself, and sort of take back your power, basically, is what I'm picking up. Again, there's some energy here as well around. Sorry, I'm going to get rid of my candle there. I think it might burn up some of the cards. But there is some real strong, there's movement ahead for sure. As I said, you've got a couple of achievements here. There's victories coming through, but it seems to be dependent on you standing up for yourself and getting clear on some things. So I didn't see a lot of emotion in terms of warm emotion. It just feels like there's a lot of aggression, or a lot of, real combative energy here. But again, it does feel that like you need to protect your happiness on the home front on some level, or your stability in some way, but ultimately you win. You have the upper hand, and the result is a happy one, because further out you do have the Sun card, but you are being required to endure. You are going to have to stand up for yourself and get clear on something. There might be some spying energy here, gossip going on here too, but for the most part, you need to, temper down these emotions with, some degree of control. It's right, it's sort of pigeonholed between the two here. You need to gain, use your wisdom, use your logic to be able to temper down your emotions here, to be able to endure, remain in control. So again, with that Temperance card, does feel like a protective angel around you. Spirit is there as well, with the Hermit card coming out later on. So it just feels like it's bearing the message that when you feel like quitting after some kind of battle, that's when good news comes in. So again, you have a couple of victories here, and actually, there's another achievement that's sort of further out with the World card, but you have a lot of endings here too. There's something you are definitely letting go of here. Still planting seeds, still jumping in, and I feel it needs to be more wholehearted with whatever it is that you need to start pushing ahead. There needs to be more determination, more momentum toward getting it done. And for sure, you still have some restrictive energy, and you might be just restricting yourself there. But you have some new starts. You have some inspired action. You have a way forward. But it is going to require you to persevere and, start clearing your way through all of this internal conflict about the choices that you've had to make, and a lot of the confusion that you've had to work through, and the anxiety. around protecting and maintaining your individuality and your independence here. You might have to do some research. There's a lot of pages in this reading as well. So to me, that speaks to, just a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of, maybe redirection, uh, redirection or finding a direction in some way here. It feels like you've kind of lost your way a little bit, and that's why we're having to, get you to refocus here. But it is, maybe because you have gotten a little too emotionally beyond what you thought you could handle. I think you're still juggling it okay, but you're coming out on top. But it seems like the struggle is real. That's all I'm going to say. So you feel like quitting after some kind of battle, but that's when there's good news that comes in. So there could also be some internal conflict, as I mentioned, about the choices that you've had to make, a lot of confusion and anxiety around protecting and maintaining your individuality and your independence here. But whatever the difficulty, it's allowed you to see something and to know what your options are, and really give you a sense of direction or redirection, as I said. You're really at a time in your life where you're really finishing up cycles, and it's cycle after cycle after cycle. So, we've got the Star card, we've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Empress, the High Priestess. There's definitely a need for you to collaborate with some people here on one sense. And as I said, on another front, there's some kind of collaboration that's required, or multiple people to be able to arrive at some kind of decision. And maybe that's in around some of the monies that you're waiting on. But there, as I said, it just feels like there's a lot of difficulty that you're kind of struggling with at this time in July. But you really are at a time in your life where you're, as I said, finishing up these cycles, battle weary. You feel like you just want to go it alone, is what I would say here. Just because there's a lot of cards of Nine of Pentacles and that kind of thing that kind of crop up here, And I'll go back to the other ones here in just a second. But I do feel, again, there was a page of Cups as well that came in here, the Knight of Cups, that kind of thing. To me, it feels like there's still, there's maybe a couple of things of good news that's coming in here as well. But I just feel like with that Temperance card earlier on, it tempers down some of the good news coming in, meaning because there was a Judgment card in here as well, it feels like there was more of an awakening for you, an awakening of sorts, where maybe you didn't appreciate the good news that was coming through as much because you've just gone through so much drama and you're tired. But there has been a lot of growth, whether you realize it or not. Going through this process is a long-term quest, and especially with the Judgment card, I feel like you're on task. You're awakening to a calling. You're actually understanding more and more of what's required to really reach these heights that you aspire to. It almost feels like this is a karmic lesson that you've passed through all these checkpoints. And again, there's that fatigue as you pass these checkpoints, but you have come to that greater transformation, with the Death card and so on that came through. We've got the Three of Wands, cards of independence and all of that. And I almost feel like there's still some kind of illusion or something that you're still confused about in regards to a partnership. And again, that could be with a water sign as well. But or maybe you're taking something to a higher commitment here too with the Hierophant, but it almost feels like this is more around the energy of two different things we're kind of speaking to here. That there's, like I said, there's almost like a karmic lesson that's been passed through and checkpoints. There's great transformation with the Death card coming out, further down, and you're just starting to recognize your true self. And I think that's why all of the Libra energy is coming through more and more and more. There's more of you in this reading. So again, further back, we have the Ten of Pentacles and we've got the Ten of Swords. There's hard-earned lessons here. And for sure, between growth and retreat, you have learned some kind of a lesson. There's been a cycle of things that you're letting go of. And again, because we go back to the Six of Swords here, you're passing through another checkpoint. You're letting go of something. You're letting go. You're releasing something that's holding you back. With that independence, you're starting to feel more independent again. You're moving towards something with the pages here, with that Page of Pentacles, definitely getting divine, assistance and to moving into an abundant place here with the Empress. But a lot of things are still really hidden here with the Moon card and the High Priestess. But again, it feels like you're pulling things together. And again, it still feels like you are going to require other people to help you do this. But there is, as I say, a number of people involved, and it feels like it's in two areas of your life. One around a decision around something relating toward money, the other part in expanding your own goals or dreams, or realizing something that you need to achieve that is important to you, that's in around your happiness. And it could involve quite a few professionals here as well, or people that are quite specialized in what they do. So, but again, it just feels like you are about to pull together with that Three of Pentacles coming out several times here. And there's so many cards. I don't want to go through each one individually, just because there's a lot of repeat in the message, even though the cards are different. And I kind of covered some of that in the beginning anyway, with the first video that I had to put out before my video cut off. But anyway, regardless, as I said, I feel that the Three of Pentacles next to the Knight of Cups, Knight of Cups and the Three of Pentacles kind of further back here. To me, it just really feels like the message is not to focus on the money here so much. Follow the path with the heart. Whatever's going to require your soul to feel a sense of purpose, go with that. Bring this to life. Whatever it is transforming you is going to help you transform something in the world as well. So in some way, you're bound to others to really have something show up here. It's not a time for you to take financial risks, I would not say, especially when we've got the Two of Swords, the Tower. Although, even though we have a positive card with the sun here, optimistic time, and you've got resources at your disposal. You might have a lawyer or somebody you're contacting, or something in regards to contractual information, or maybe you're dealing with a legal issue. But all of that hard end, all of that overwhelm is really pretty much come to a head here, because you are getting the good news in July. So anyway, as I say, it's not time for you to take financial risks, but you are going to need some mental resistance and resilience, to get through this month. And maybe that's why, again, there's so much energy around Spirit coming through to protect you as well. So, because it is a trying time. But, as I said, you've got the Ace of Swords there further back as well. And all of that really speaks to you needing to have strong clarity in going forward here. You really need to get yourself focused. But it is a time of breakthroughs with all these swords here as well. So mental resistance, breakthroughs. You need to also express yourself, stand up for yourself. You are seeing more of the way through here, with every challenge. And there can also be a new job of some sort here, with the Page of Pentacles as well as that Ace of Wands. There might be something new on the horizon there that's maybe a creative endeavor, something that, brings you a little bit more money. But with all the swords in here too, this can also speak to some of you doing a lot more learning, or using your wisdom, or taking knowledge to a new level. But you're forming some strong bonds, I feel, in a professional sphere, or working with professionals in some way, or specialists, just because the Three of Pentacles came through so many times here. But in the next 2 weeks, it's about gaining some headway, achieving small gains, finding a path, with that Chariot card, and really jumping into something that's more full, more wholeheartedly with that Fool card. You had the Seven of Pentacles in here as well in behind, which was really about planting the seeds, being patient. So again, there's some delays for sure this month on things happening, because it's more of a long-term growth with some aspect of this reading. But again, I feel like I'm speaking to more than one area of your life. And I did pull quite a few cards, so it does make some sense. But you really need to have mental resilience. You really need to have some enduring qualities with the Strength card coming up here. You really need to stand up for yourself, express yourself, keep a tight rein on your, I would say, on your thoughts and your money, and express yourself with clarity. Use your intelligence, tame your thoughts and your emotions, and able to advance your position. Because as I say, you end up with the World card, and there's definitely some, new levels that you're attaining here, some new epiphanies, some new awakenings. And I feel like you're almost gaining another level of maturity here because of all the pages. I feel that there was a level of immaturity around attitudes or behaviors from you, maybe that you were forced to react or overreact in a certain way, or maybe others around you are overreacting around you. And so there's just that level of immaturity that seems to strongly come through here. But it could also represent a lot of naivety here about some areas of your life that you weren't really seeing with um, full clarity, and that's could also speak to why the Fool energy in all the pages, but especially with the Eight of Swords that's coming out there, several times, couple of times there, that self-sabotage card, a sense of isolation with the Nine of Pentacles, dealing with something alone, feeling restricted, unfocused, mental conflict, fear of failure, all of that. However that energy, relates or speaks to you, you're breaking free of all of this in July, and it's in a big way, but it starts in the first 2 weeks here. Again, you had that Ace of Wands bringing in new ideas, a lot more passion for improving yourself this month. You're much more creative. You're becoming enlightened here. So there's definite growth. And definitely with those Page of Pentacles, it's a fresh start. You're more practical. You're looking at things with a desire to move ahead, real commitment because of all the wands, a lot of determination, a lot of passion, seeing something through with the Page of Wands following that as well. And certainly there's a lot of end cycles here coming through with the Death card and the Page of Wands, the Eight of Wands messages coming through for sure. Could be in around a water sign, but I feel that you're breaking free of the stagnancy. You're breaking free of a period of indecision or being halted or, stopped in some way because and again, Death card twice, like you're completing something. Whatever stagnancy was happening for you, that's ending. You are now, the Wheel of Fortune is moving you into a place of better luck. It's also moving you into a higher level of, there's more momentum with all the wands. You're breaking free of the conflict. It's kind of nestled between, the Two of Wands, between thinking about where you're going to be headed and having the enduring, strength to move forward beyond this conflict, behind this heartbreak, whatever that was for you. You're going to get to the longer end, which is for sure slow moving money with the Knight of Pentacles, but it's diligence. It's slow moving energy, but it's practical, it's logical, it's more of a hard earned effort behind the Knight of Pentacles, and certainly it's a long-term project. But again, with the World card, that speaks to a big end here as well. So many cycles that are ending for you in July. Definitely this is going to be covering the latter part of July as well. But again, that Star, the Eight of Pentacles, working toward mastering something, crafting it, specialized detail. Your dedication is required here to become the best version of yourself, is what I feel that Star card speaks to. A more authentic, empowering, enlightened space, especially with those clarifiers of the Hermit, the Empress, the High Priestess. This to me speaks to a month of, you really becoming even more of you, so to speak, your more authentic self. It's leading you to why you came here, the calling. This is the right moment for something to happen. There's growth, there's productivity, could even be production lines or freelance work here as well for some of you, but with that Queen of Wands energy, entrepreneurial. But it's a bigger picture with these major arcana. But you currently are at the hands-on stage where you're driving the talents you have forward, but you might be missing an opportunity or missing something just you're not seeing, that could be more. It could add to more of what you're already doing to take some of the burden off of you. I feel, you may be more focused on the task at hand and you're not seeing a better way to expand something, which might be why the Three of Pentacles showed up to two different sections here. One area I feel requires other people to bring about that monetary foundation, and the other, so it might be money you're waiting on, and then the other seems to require another set of specialists, as I said, to take the onus off you so that you're not so much of a one-man show. Anyway, in short, or I guess as short as I can make it, I feel like you're moving away from doing things alone. You're taking on a partnership. This is the part that seemed a little confusing for me, but I feel some of you might be taking on a partnership or maybe ending a partnership and moving it to another level with that Hierophant card. But either way, there's a consideration of a partnership or a more unified connection around your business. There is something incoming that's more balanced in and more in line with, something you're attracted to, or that you're hoping for, with that Page of Pentacles. And certainly with that Moon card, I feel there's a bit of a daydream or a fantasizing about the Two of Cups, about, maybe the ideal version of how you see something, whatever that vision is. But there's something that's still clouded here in around a partnership or maybe somebody that you don't feel you can trust. But there is still growth here. There's the Three of Wands. The delays are coming to an end with a lot of these tens. But again, there's still something further out. So Ten of Swords, hard-won battle, a lot of delay around, something, but that seems to be coming to a close. There's good news coming in. Does feel like a lot of low morale here, taking a time away to heal and improve yourself and your mood, as your overall outlook. That Hierophant, again, as I said, can speak to corporate energy, big business, government, higher learning, anything large institution, but either way, some kind of fast development coming in with that Nine of Wands that followed it. So, just to wrap things up, as I said, pulled too many cards, and next time I won't pull so many. But to wrap it up, a lot of repeat energy here. So again, good news coming in. Knight of Cups brings a lot of optimistic, abundant energy too with the Sun. You're re-inspired with all the Wands cards, like to the positive, and although you're really drained, as I said, with all the swords and the battles, in the end, whatever the clash of personalities or discomfort, you haven't backed down and you're not compromising. You're trusting your instincts here, and you're coming out with a promise of letting go of a huge disappointment. So you're not looking back. For some of you, your career path is changing altogether. You're going it alone, but I think you need to consider getting some assistance to further develop it. Others, there is a disappointing partnership or something that you had some illusions around, that's still considering, that you're still maybe considering, but there's still something that feels like it's missing here for that maybe just hasn't come to light. But there looks to be an end to something quite significant in your life this month. End to that conflict. You're releasing it. You're moving into a whole new level of independence. So again, could be a breakup around a water sign or a partnership of some sort, or that there's a separation of some sort. Or again, for some of you, it could be moving it to a whole new level with that Hierophant card. But it's a strange kind of mix of energy around that partnership. I'm not sure how to take that yet. But again, there's still a lot of things that are epiphanies and things that you're breaking through here. Some of it looks to be delayed. Again, doesn't feel like a lot of expenditure here. It feels like you're really hanging on to the money, but you're hearing more information. Good news coming in. Certainly a longer term movement toward reward and achievement with these cards here. But all growth, development, shedding conflict and illusions, getting clear this month, really putting in the hard work with that Eight of Pentacles, greater end, bigger picture. Your luck is moving and turning for the better with that Wheel of Fortune card. And you're out of that hanging back and stagnation and into more mastery and collaboration, or at least you're considering it. And there's real endurance that's required, but that will bring about your success. Anyway, that's what I have for you, Libra. First 2 weeks, career, money, finance. Stay safe, keep moving forward. And that was July 1st through to the 15th. And look forward to seeing you for the last couple of weeks of July.